Hey everyone, this video is going to be a pretty short one. I just wanted to cover this particular article, although I could reference any article by not just those in the established media, but those in the alternative media that have been reporting on this. And I've heard them out there. I heard a lot of the political pundits out there. Oh no, the Central Bank of Canada, they're not going to raise interest rates because of this, economic folly, or the NAFTA, or the uncertainty around the NAFTA agreement. Let me tell you, I've said this in the past, and just look at my videos. I got the credibility. It's already built up, folks. Interest rates are going to continue to go up. You better realize that the punch bowl is going to be taken away, right? Because the central planners, as much as they love fucking playing around, manipulating people, they realize that they've left the punch bowl out so long that everyone is congregated to it, and nothing is getting done because everybody's surrounding themselves and have now amalgamated to the point where they're just sucking up every bit of fucking fluids and every bit of energy that resides inside that punch bowl. So they know they got to take it away. Plus, if you think about all the unfunded liabilities when you're talking about pensions or all these entitlements promised to the baby boomers predominantly, is how are you going to pay for all that shit when nobody has any savings? And when there's no way for anyone to accumulate any savings because the inflation rate is higher than what a person can save. This is the problem. Like, even if I took money and stashed it in a bank account and hoped, oh, let's try to save some money. If the bank's only giving me 0.75% interest rate and the inflation rate in my country is 2-3%, I'm losing money all the time, right? So I'm chasing my tail and I'm only getting dizzier. I'm never going to catch it. And as a matter of fact, there's no way you can win that race, right? Because what have you won? Even if you fucking catch your tail, all you've done is caught your tail. What are you going to do with it then, right? No. The central planners, they realize that, the world order is being undone. Well, the current world order, the one that they've been trying to implement for decades, it's being unwound and it's being undone. And they realize that, well, for us to get ahead, for us to even try to catch up and potentially maybe get ahead at some point, is we got to reverse course. So even though they tried to talk political rhetoric was saying, oh no, we're going to remain steady in our current course. Well, at the same time, they're like cutting that wheel, man. And they're cutting hard to the right economically because they realize, well, if they head down that path that are continuing on, there's a big, gigantic falls at the end of it. And when they get to that point where they're close to the edge, they're going to drop off, and they don't know how detrimental that fall is going to be and how hard that crash will be when they get there. So your central planners, like I say, they like to talk out both sides of their mouth, but maybe it's about time, the onus is on you, to start, reading between the lines and understanding the rhetoric that they espouse. Anyways, once again, like I say, it's just a headline, but Bank of Canada raises benchmark interest rate to 1.5%, noting trade tensions. Central Bank has raised its rate 4 times since last summer as the economy has heated up. But meanwhile, you've heard the political rhetoric there. It's up, it's down, it's somewhere in between. Now our actually employment rate, they had a few thousand jobs or whatever many thousand jobs last month, but the unemployment rate went even higher, went from 5.8, I believe, to 6%. So the employment rate's actually even higher than it was, but why that is because think about it. There's more people now out there actively looking for work because of this mass immigration and all these illegal asylum seekers. Yeah, some of them out there are trying to look for jobs too, right? So the more people you bring in the country to compete for, a finite amount of jobs and potential sources of income, this is what we're seeing, folks. This is what we're seeing. So, like I said, you really shouldn't trust these central planners because they are micromanagers and manipulators that really they have no fundamental grasp of what they're doing. They are the proverbial dog chasing the tail constantly. I don't know how they're not so dizzy that they haven't fallen the fuck on their ass and are laying on the ground right now. Although I'm sure they probably are at this point. They're having a hard time keeping their balance for sure because, like I say, the way they go on, they're being pulled from one side to the other and forward and back. They're not very stable. And they even admit as such. Their economic reports are as schizophrenic as they come. So, there's that. Anyways, I'll tie this video up, and I will post a link to this article in the description of it. But once again, folks, interest rates are going up. So those of you who are jumping in the housing market, or those of you who want to play the short-term game and enjoy this immediate gratification, well, you really do got to think about the long term. Because it's a coming. You're not going to die tomorrow. You know, your debts, your obligations, they're going to be there waiting for you next month, next year, in the next decade, and probably a few decades out. So, once again, long-term thinking, sure, think about the short term and the medium term, but if you think you can just ignore the long term, well, you're one of those people that's going to suffer a lot of harsh consequences and detrimental consequences as a result. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.